high upon a lonely moor a widow lived alone, and in she kept, and as she slept the pillow heard a moan. Oh, many years the traveller spent the night with me. There's not a man in all creation gives content to me. But some can manage once or twice, and some made 3 or 4. It seems to me a rarity is the man who can do more. I'll do anything to find him in heaven or in hell. And as these words were spoken, then she heard the front door bell. And the wind blew cold and lonely across that widow's moor, and she never ever turned away a traveller from the door. So boldly then the widow ran, the door she opened wide, and as she did, a tall and handsome stranger stepped inside. She gave him bread and brandy, and when the tea was fed, he said, "Me dear, now have no fear, it's time to come to bed. For I've heard you call way down below, and I've come to see you right. But you must come to hell with me if I can last the night." She said, "You randy devil, to this bargain I'll agree. For hell on earth or hell in hell, it's all the same to me." And the wind blew cold and lonely across that widow's moor, and she never ever turned away a traveller from the door. Fell into bed, the devil was working well. He thought before the night was through she'd be in his hell. But when they came to number 9, the widow cried out more. When the 12th time came around again, she cried for more. At 25 the devil felt compelled to take a rest. The widow, she said, "Come raise your head and put me to the test." At 69 the widow laughed again she cried. The devil, he said, "Well, I can see just how your husband died." And the wind blew cold and lonely across that widow's moor, and she never ever turned away a traveller from the door. To cry and weep. He said, "I'll give you anything if you let me go to sleep." Before the morning light was up, the devil hobbled home. The widow, still not satisfied, once more was left alone. But there she lay and grumbled, she thought of 99. If only that old devil could have made it one more time. I'll call him up again tonight to see what can be done. With a bit more application, he could have made the done. But when she called to him that night, no devil did appear. For the first time in eternity, the devil he shook with fear. He said, "Of all the torment I've witnessed here in hell, I never knew what pain was till I rang the front door bell." And the wind blew cold and lonely across that widow's moor, and she never ever turned away a traveller from the door. And the wind blew cold and lonely across that widow's moor, and she never ever turned away a traveller from the door. The wind blew cold and lonely across that widow's moor, and she never ever turned away a traveller from the door.
Been
je bare vineren. Fare che ci per